He was just a quiet boy from a small village, but fate had something big written for him. He didn't shout, he didn't fight, but he changed lives in ways the world never expected. He became a leader unlike any other, not with money, not with power, but with truth and love. You might think you know Jimmy Carter, but what happened behind the spotlight will truly surprise you. Stay with us, because this story will touch your heart. Chapter 1. A Farmer's Son with Big Dreams. Jimmy Carter was born on October 1st, 1924, in a small town called Plains in Georgia, USA. His father was a hard-working peanut farmer, and his mother was a kind nurse. Didn't have much money, but they taught Jimmy the value of honesty, respect, and serving others. From a young age, Jimmy helped on the farm, waking up early to work in the fields before school. He didn't mind hard work. He actually liked it. It made him feel useful. As a boy, Jimmy loved reading books and learning new things. He was quiet but very smart. While other boys played outside, Jimmy often sat under a tree with a book in his hand. He dreamed of doing something great, something that would help people. His heart was full of hope, and his eyes were always searching for a way to make the world better. When he was old enough, Jimmy went to the U.S. Naval Academy. He studied hard and became a Navy officer. He traveled the world, learned about other cultures, and saw how different life was outside of Georgia. These experiences shaped his ideas about fairness and peace. But when his father died, Jimmy made a big decision. He left the Navy and came back home to take care of the family farm. He never knew that this step would one day lead him to the White House. Chapter 2. A Simple Man Enters Politics. Back in Plains, Jimmy worked hard to save his father's peanut business. He turned it into a successful company through honesty and dedication. But as he listened to the struggles of farmers and poor families around him, he realized something. His town needed good leaders. People needed someone who would listen and care. In the 1960s, Jimmy entered politics. At first, people didn't take him seriously. He was soft-spoken and his speeches were simple, but his honesty touched hearts. He became a Georgia state senator and later the governor. He focused on civil rights, equal opportunities, and improving schools. Jimmy didn't believe in hate or racism. He believed all people, black or white, should be treated with respect. Jimmy was different from other politicians. He didn't lie or make fake promises. He spoke with his heart, and slowly, people across the country noticed him. In 1976, after years of chaos and mistrust in American politics, people were ready for someone honest. Jimmy Carter ran for president, and with a smile and the words, "I'll never lie to you," he won the hearts of millions. Chapter 3. The President Who Believed in Peace. In 1977, Jimmy Carter became the 39th President of the United States. He didn't come from money or power. He came from a peanut farm. But he brought big ideas to the White House. He wanted to make America kinder, fairer, and more peaceful. Jimmy focused on helping the poor, saving energy, and protecting the environment. He believed in using solar power and saving fuel. People laughed at him then, but now those ideas are praised. He didn't believe in wars. He believed in solving problems with words. His most important achievement was the Camp David Accords, a peace agreement between Egypt and Israel. It was the first time those countries shook hands after years of war. The world called it a miracle, and it happened because of Jimmy's patience and hope. But being honest is not always easy in politics. Jimmy refused to play dirty games. He didn't give favors to the rich or powerful. Many didn't like that. He faced many problems, including an oil crisis and a hostage situation in Iran. People blamed him even though he tried everything to fix it. In 1980, he lost the next election. He left the White House with tears in his eyes, but with his head held high. Chapter 4. A Life Bigger Than the Presidency. Most presidents relax after leaving office, but Jimmy Carter became even more active. He didn't care about fame. He cared about people. He started the Carter Center, an organization that fights diseases, protects human rights, and promotes democracy around the world. He traveled to dangerous places to help the sick and poor, sometimes building homes with his own hands. He helped nearly wipe out a painful disease called guinea worm, which once hurt millions. He watched elections in troubled countries to make sure they were fair. Jimmy believed that one person can still make a difference, even without power. He showed the world what leadership truly means. In 2002, Jimmy Carter won the Nobel Peace Prize for his lifelong work in promoting peace and justice. He was not just a former president. He became a teacher of peace, a fighter for truth, and a symbol of humanity. Even in his 90s, he kept working. He beat cancer. He kept building homes. He kept preaching kindness. In February 2023, he chose hospice care, deciding to live his final days at home with family. The world watched in silence and admiration. He lived for another year peacefully and bravely, until he passed away on February 18, 2024, at age 99. Chapter 5, The Legacy That Lives On. Jimmy Carter's death marked the end of a historic chapter, but his story is far from over. Across the world, people mourned not just a former president, but a symbol of peace, humility, and moral courage. His funeral was held in Georgia, attended by leaders, citizens, and families he once helped. But the most touching tributes came from those who felt his kindness firsthand: refugees, children, volunteers, and the poor. He could have written books about power, but he wrote about faith and love. He could have lived in gold houses, but he chose a simple life. Even after death, his Carter Center continues to change lives. People now call him one of the most honest and beloved leaders in American history. Jimmy Carter showed the world a different kind of strength, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that listens, heals, and never gives up. He was a man of God, a builder of peace, and a true servant of humanity. His grave in Plains is simple, just like the man himself. But his legacy is as wide as the sky. Generations to come will read about him, learn from him, and be moved by the way he lived. Jimmy Carter didn't just lead a country, he led by example. And that's why his story still inspires millions. A true leader, a true peacemaker, a true American hero. What part of his journey inspired you the most? Share in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Glorious English for more emotional and inspiring stories in simple English.